coming into every night. I want to take the best perimeter matchup. So I feel like it helps our team tremendously. Just being able to get those stops, get easy buckets in transition, and feeling good with the energy on that end, and letting it transfer over to my offense.
So, this right here is Stephon Castle, who just dropped a 40-point triple-double.
Castle, Vassell, no, oh! From the heavens!
Castle is a key guy for the San Antonio Spurs who can shift energy at any point in the game on both sides of the floor. Many people today will complain about the defense in the NBA, but Castle is someone who likes to make things messy on that side of the floor, which often leads to him getting slams like this.
Get it in, another steal. Stephon Castle, gear up for showtime! Castle climbs the ladder.
Trust me, this isn't a one-off thing, as when Max Christie spaces out after the screen, Castle is already locked in ready to track the pass. Once it's made, Stephon runs through Christie to steal the ball once it touches his hands, and this leads to yet another windmill. Now hold on, let's not get caught up on strictly defense. Because when we switch sides of the ball, Castle can attack off the screen to then push through the contact pass to Big, and when the help defender is waiting on him right in that paint, things really don't end so well.
Oh my goodness, all over Sensabaugh.
Not only does Castle do well when attacking with the ball, as when you allow him to move freely throughout the offense, he always finds a way to navigate to the middle of the floor, and usually it'll be too late for teams to even react before he's already scoring inside. Just from those couple plays alone, you can see just how well Castle can elevate this team. But to really understand his impact, we must dive deeper into everything. When starting with his fluidity between both sides of the ball, it's plays like this that make things so important. As Stephon doesn't shy away from picking up all NBA players to then strip the ball from them, and then proceed to go get easy points. Plays like that show you that a player is fully engaged, and if that wasn't enough to showcase it, well how about here when Castle asks if he's gonna double flag on the attack, but really it was all bait to make him kick it out, and with quick reaction timing, Castle intercepts his pass and takes it to the other end. This attention to detail on the defensive end gets him easy buckets and a quickness, and it plays right into his offensive scoring as well. While most guys need the ball in their hands to create, Castle is quite different. Like sure, we love to see him take it at the defense and make plays like this.
Really, if he can get anybody into that. Oh, Castle!
Or times where he looks like a creative player doing things like this.
Oh my goodness.
But the thing is, you can't always depend on having the ball. So that's where Castle's ability to spot angles to slice through come in handy when defenders aren't paying attention. When you have a guy like Victor Wembanyama on your team, it'll make the defense shift a lot as they have to do everything in their power to stop him from scoring. But that's exactly when you can cut from the wing to the middle of the paint like we see Castle do here, but there's a difference. Stephon doesn't just go straight up when he receives the ball. He uses that up fake to get his guy on the trampoline, and now he can go through the contact for the and one. This right here is what you want to see from a second year player. You have someone who doesn't get upset when the offense doesn't immediately come to him, and instead, he brings himself to the offense to generate great looks at the rim. Now when he does get the ball in his hands to initiate action himself, this is where things can get quite tricky for the defense. For one, Stephon Castle is a 6'6", 215-pound guard, and with this stature comes weight room dates. When he's navigating to the rim, he'll just push defenders right out of his way to get easy points. Take this for an example. When he attacks the basket going at Cody Williams, he bumps him off to create some separation, and when defenders think you're going to continue going the same way, that's when Castle steps through to the other side to place this off the glass. Other times when Castle attacks, he may bump off his defender to then only be met by some help defense. So instead of stepping through to the other side like we seen in the last play, Castle will instead go back towards the right, which is away from Mobley, so he can get the deuce. This nature of bullying defenders gets Castle right to the rim whenever he feels like it, and for those times where he doesn't bully defenders, he'll use his quick shift of direction to make Giannis slide out of place, and now with that strength, he can push right past Giannis to lay this one in.
Behind the back, cradling his way past Giannis.
This quick direction change shows up in many ways when Castle drives, as it may not be so abrupt, but when he's pushing past Siakam here after this crossover, Castle could continue down this left side to lay it up, but with Siakam right on his hip, Castle decides to angle his drive into his space, which not only stops Siakam from being able to jump as high, but also if he is to contest, he has to go through Castle's body, which will most likely end in a foul. Being crafty like that isn't just for show, it's truly what makes you difficult to guard. Like when he attacks the basket versus the Lakers, Ayton is right there ready to defend the rim. Now could Castle go up right at him? Of course. But this will most likely make for a tougher conversion inside or end up in his shot getting blocked. So here's where Castle uses that up fake to get Ayton in the air, paired with that decel on the last two steps to make sure he gets that contact, and now he's got himself an and one. Seeing Castle operate like this is why I'm so huge on the Spurs going forward to become a top team, because having an athletic guard who can get to the rim can make your team harder to beat. And when the Spurs played the Mavericks, if you were trading like I was on Polymarket, you could have gotten a big payout. With San Antonio having a 70% odds over the Mavs at 30%, I waited until the odds dropped to 50% for the Spurs and I bought in, as I knew the Mavericks would play hard as they just lost the game prior to San Antonio by 12 points. Pair that with the Spurs shooting highly efficient in the second half of the game prior with a 61% true shooting percentage opposed to the Mavericks 56%. So it was a perfect time to trade in at 50% when the game was tied. I waited until the Spurs went on a big run, which they did in the third, and I decided to cash out at 86%, netting myself a 72% profit. To get in on the action like this in all 50 states, make sure you download the app from the link in my description to get on the top of the waitlist. Now when discussing his attacking even further, it's something that allows him to keep constant pressure on opposing teams during the game in many different ways. On this push towards the middle, once Jabari tries to cut him off from going further, that's when Castle initiates the spin move to shut him off to get an easy one. And once again, when going at Durant, you can see the same thing happen. KD tries to cut off the middle, but this is all a setup for Castle to spin off. And hold on, there's one thing that's different. Castle doesn't just go straight up on this play, as he serves that pump fake to make Durant bite, and here comes another and one connection.
Gets hacked by Durant. Count the
Say the Spurs get out in transition, well not only do you have to worry about De'Aaron Fox who can speed all the way to the rim, but you also have to keep your eyes on where Castle is or else he'll use something special to finish over the defense. This pushing of the pace makes it to where defenses can't really get set while Castle is gunning at them to go score, and for the times that they are set, it's that pressure he puts on defenses to keep them out the paint that actually works against them. Because with Chet not knowing whether to step up or stay back while playing the middle ground, this is when Castle can throw up the lob and turn up the arena.
Castle, a corner, posterizing Holmgren.
That right there won't just work for amazing alley-oops either, as when Castle turns that corner hard off the pick and roll, you'll not have defenders rotate over to take away that lob, so Ayton can now be in better position to stop the drive. But hey, look what's open. Yeah, it's a skip to the opposite corner and now you're giving up the tray ball. All of this here is the many layers Castle has to his game, but this doesn't mean he's simply just perfect. Like come on, let's be honest, Castle isn't the best shooter by any means, as he only shoots nearly 29% from 3. But what's interesting is that if we look at the month of January, Castle shot 32% from deep, and so far in February, he's shooting 36%. So it's safe to say he's shooting with much more confidence and hopefully will become someone the defense has to worry about leaving open. As when the ball gets swung around or Wemby gets doubled, having a capable shooter on the outside is always valuable to the team, and even more than that, when defenders have to step outside to guard Castle or close out hard, that's when he can put the ball in the deck to go score inside where he does most of his damage. This Spurs team is special. You have Castle putting up numbers, Fox leading the unit with his dynamic playstyle, Wemby, who we all know is just an alien, and with a rookie and Dylan Harper improving every day and the supporting cast, this team has a bright future ahead of them. Let me know how you feel about Stephon Castle and this Spurs team below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.